Hello lovely people and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to be giving you my tips on how I found it easiest to get the Nuked Out medal, which is a 30 gun streak in free-for-all, and see if I can help you guys get yours as well. Although I may have actually only achieved the Nuked Out medal one time, I have come close so many times and it is so irritating when you get to a higher streak and you start dying, but I think I have a pretty good understanding of how to get them in the future. Whenever I've died, it's always been my problems. I've always tried to rush a little bit too much, got a bit too aggressive, thought I was better than I was, and I simply wasn't. So let's see if these tips can help you guys get yours if you haven't got one already. Now don't forget, you can play in either regular or hardcore free-for-all. I personally achieved mine in hardcore and you'll see it from the gameplay. I like hardcore, you might not, it is completely up to you. However, the class setup might change a little bit depending on which one you go for, but it shouldn't do too much. I generally use the same class in regular and hardcore when going for this medal. So let's see what we can do. The gameplay on your screen is me achieving it on Redwood. Bit of a weird map, I know. The lobby was sort of half full, so it's a little bit campy, but I also don't really bump into many people. The only reason it's a little bit campy is that I was actually trying really hard to get this. I didn't want to die by rushing around too much. Rushing will get you killed because if you go into the high traffic areas of the map, people come from everywhere, you're going to get killed. It took me around 7 minutes in this game to get the Nuked Out challenge. As I said, it was a half full lobby, so actually finding people was quite tricky, but I do manage to get it. There may be some other bits of gameplay in this video showing me coming close different times, and you'll see that the style of gameplay, the way I'm playing, is very different to this one. So this is just me getting it for the first time. Once I've achieved it, I play completely different again. If I get another one, it will be properly and nowhere near as campy as this. First off, what I have experienced myself and seen from other people doing it is that lethal weapons from specialists, such as the scythe, will count towards your Nuked Out. However, I wouldn't really recommend you using them. You can get much better ones to go for this Nuked Out, such as combat focus or vision pulse. These might make it a little bit easier for you to get the 30 gun streak, rather than just popping up on the map and being a big target, having to shoot this massive death machine out your hand. So, whilst lethal specialist weapons do count, lethal streaks do not. So don't use anything that is going to kill people that you don't control, so a Wraith, Motherships, Wraps, Hellstorm, anything like that, do not use them. However, non-lethal streaks do. So my best setup that I recommend to go for in terms of score streaks is either UAV, Counter UAV and Hater, or UAV, Hater and Power Core. In both of these setups, the Counter UAV and the Power Core play the same role, just one being a lot higher to achieve in terms of score. They both block the enemy UAV. The Power Core has the added benefits of not allowing any streaks at all. Now, if you are going to be using the Power Core, I would highly recommend, once you've earned it, to hold on to it and wait just in case anyone does call in streaks. Then you can plant it down and kill them instantly, rather than a counter UAV just blocking the UAV. If someone does manage to earn some of these higher streaks, like a Wraith for example, even through a care package, you'll be able to take it out really quickly and you won't die on your streak. Funnily enough, in this gameplay I am not using this score streak setup, and you will see me earn a GI unit, which I do not call in. This wasn't ideal as it wasn't beneficial towards me getting the Nuked Out, but once I equipped the Power Core after this, I did find it easier to go on longer streaks towards another Nuked Out medal. Now we move on to class setups. Here you can see the class setup that I am using in this video and that I liked personally. First off, let's talk about the weapon. Now there is really no set weapon that is best for this. I have come close with many of these submachine guns and assault rifles, so it's something that you're comfortable with really. Personally, I prefer the submachine guns for free-for-all, just because most gun battles you're going to have are going to be close to medium range. I really like the Razorback because it is good at both of these ranges, plus it is also pretty good at long ranges in case you need to kill someone at that distance. But I also enjoyed using the Kuda and the VMP when trying to go for this. Again, these are just a few suggestions, and use whichever gun you feel comfortable with. You might have a personal preference of a different weapon completely that you're actually really good with, so if you are, go for one of those instead. In terms of attachments on the weapon of your choice, there is only really one that I would recommend, and this is a silencer. Obviously, a silencer will keep you off the minimap when you're firing, which means people won't be able to find you as easily, and you can stay off the map, meaning you go on longer streaks. If you hit someone and don't really kill them, just get a couple of hit markers, they might not know where they've been shot from, so you have a chance to run away and not have to worry too much about being flanked because you're just shooting aimlessly. This brings me on to perk suggestions. As you can see, for perk 1 I am using Ghost. The reason I don't use a counter UAV is because I am using Ghost and a silencer. I don't have to worry at all about appearing on the enemy UAV, so Ghost and a silencer is definitely a good combination when going for the Nuked Out medal. For perk 2 I am using Scavenger. Obviously this is to not run out of ammo and not have to pick up random weapons off the floor. And Fast Hands. I personally love this perk. It allows you to aim quicker after sprinting. However, depending on how you play, you might not need this, you might feel more comfortable without it, you might be alright without it. In hardcore, people die quite quickly, so to get your gun up as fast as possible is crucial. That is why I'm using Fast Hands on this class setup. Finally, for perk 3, I am using Dead Silence and Awareness. This combination of perks is great if you are using a headset. Awareness is essentially like having another set of eyes on the side of your head or something. You can hear people from way off and know where they're coming from. You'll be able to hear where they're running, if they're coming through doorways, if they're wall running, if they're jumping, all that sort of stuff. So you're able to pre-fire and get into a position to kill people easily. Dead silence is so people can't do that to you, and to make it easier for you to hear the enemies coming towards you. If you don't have a headset, I would still recommend using dead silence so people can't hear you. However, try using something like Sixth Sense, Tracker, or just turn your volume up really high and fiddle with your sound settings a little bit, and you should be able to hear footsteps even if you don't have a headset. Remember, this has to be a gun streak, so do not equip any lethal equipment like grenades or trip mines or anything like that. This setup is a recommended class setup, and it's not by any means the only way to get a Nuked Out medal. Use these tips for your class setup, give it a try. If it doesn't work, fiddle around with it a little bit, tweak it, make it your own. For example, you might not need Fast Hands in the perk 2 slot, meaning you'll have 2 extra points to use on your classes. In which case I would recommend using something like a shock charge. It's useful, you can put them on doorways, behind you. They act as like motion sensors, so if you're not looking somewhere, they'll go off, you'll know where someone is at least, and you can run that way, and it sort of stops you from having to check every flank route around you. Now that we've been through class setups, let's talk about maps and playstyles. First off, you need to find maps that you like and know well. This will make it so much easier for you to achieve this Nuked Out medal. Learning the spawns on these maps is also a really good tip. You'll know where to stand, you'll know where people are coming from. Even if you're standing somewhere you're not too familiar with, at least you'll have a little bit of an idea of where people should be spawning, so you won't get caught too much off guard by people running down alleyways or round corners. Once you've determined which maps you like, you need to find an area of that map and lock it down. Make that area your own. What you don't want to be doing is camping in one spot in a corner, people will just come back for you. What you want to be doing is sort of patrolling an area. Every time maybe you get a kill or two, moving to a different bit. As I said before, try and control the spawns in a small area of the map. As you can see from this gameplay, I have taken this sort of back spawn area slash back house. I'm running around here, I knew where the spawns were around this house, and it allowed me to get easy kills, catch people off guard, and know where people will be coming from. I'll throw in some extra gameplay here of me getting high streaks on other maps, locking down certain areas. By no means are these the best areas for you to control on these maps, so don't be scared to find your own area that you like and you've learned. So patrol your area of the map, and as soon as you earn that first hater, take full advantage of it. Don't be scared to start running around a little bit more. You have a massive advantage over your enemies. You know where they are and which direction they're facing. So don't be scared to be a little bit more aggressive. Obviously, still be careful with running towards people directly, especially into high traffic areas like the middle of the map. But don't let it go to waste and think people are just going to be coming to you and that sort of thing. you have, as I said, a massive advantage. You need to get as many kills as you can on this hater to get towards the Nuked Out and your next hater. So these were my top tips on getting a Nuked Out medal. I hope this helps you achieve yours. It is a very hard thing to do and don't expect it to happen quickly. It will take a little bit of time, especially if you don't play free-for-all already. It will seem a bit hectic at first, but just keep getting at it, practice, you will learn the spawns on maps eventually, and you will get good, and I hope you can earn your Nuked Out medal fairly quickly. If you've liked this video, feel free to drop a like below, comment any suggestions you have for getting Nuked Out medals for yourself, subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys later. Just before I go, I am giving away the pair of control freaks that you can see in the thumbnail and in the outro box just here. If you want to enter, click on that link or click on the link in the description, follow the 4 simple instructions, and one of you will be winning that pair of control freaks.